go any further, I've not seen you since the talkathon.
Oh, gosh, no.
Wasn't it? Didn't you
have you recovered?
No. You know, I feel like I've got jet lag. But anyway, there was one point of it that really stuck out, and I was on when you were on at that time, and we were talking about grief and how you deal with it and all of that.
I know what you're going to say.
And there was one moment, because you never think of you like this, and I wouldn't think of you like this, but you said this. Let's have a listen.
After my dad died, and, you know, my mum then became very ill, so there really wasn't an awful lot of time to focus on losing my dad. One of the few things that I did, because your life gets taken over, was I went to a spin class. For quite a few months, I'd go to that spin class, and I knew it was a place that I could just... My head would be shaking, my hair would be all over my face, so nobody would know what was going on. I probably looked as if I was the best spinner in the world, but I could just howl.
Yeah, it was really...
The thing about that talkathon, because we did it for 25 hours talking, of course, it was to get Britain talking, you know, to raise money for mental health charities. Because we were on for so long, I mean, I don't know about you, but, I mean, I said things that I probably wouldn't have said otherwise, and that was one of them that just kind of spilled out of me. And I did look at the comments, because I think it went up on Instagram, and it was amazing the number of people who did say that they kind of had a place, you know, whether it was in the shower or a few people said spin class, oddly enough, and just, or going out for a run. And, you know, it's funny, it's that common experience that you think is just you.
Yeah.
But actually, when you put it out there, you realise there's so many other people have a similar thing. I mean, Liv, you're not a crier, are you?
No. Even talking about it makes me feel uncomfortable, hate it. I've always been that way. So I rarely cry, and the only place... God, get ready to feel Christmassy, guys. It's really getting warm in here. The only place that I feel like I can cry, and I do sometimes cry, is in bed. Like, it will sometimes catch me right at the end of a day, or maybe at the end of a week, if it's been a couple of weeks that have been heavy and I've kind of been suppressing, and then it's something about getting into bed. As soon as the light goes off and I'm kind of under the covers, it just... I feel like I'm crying, and I'm like... And that will be one of the very few places that I ever kind of let it take over me. But I really don't like it. And you know, if my husband's in the bed with me, I hate it. He'll kind of feel that I'm crying, and then he will obviously comfort me, which I almost don't want, because it then makes me cry more.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's very rare, but there's something about being able to put the duvet over my head that makes me feel, you know, like...
Safer, yeah. I understand how he must really worry about you when he does feel you're crying, knowing that you hold it back.
He always thinks that something really bad is like... But normally it's just... It's like a build-up of a load of things, like with tiredness, feeling frustrated, and, you know, just like a few days of feeling like up here.
And do you get a sense of release?
Yes, and that's like, you know, when I speak to a therapist, and I mean, I'm quite open that I do therapy still. It's like it's something that, you know, he's always like, don't carry it, because don't you feel lighter when you let things off? Like that's the best sleep I'll ever have after that, you know, because it's like a release. It's really healthy, I think, to be able to release emotion. But I just think so many of us don't grow up seeing it, and it's not very British, is it, to cry? We're very stiff upper lip, and for a lot of us, it's not easy, and it feels very shameful and very exposing, which it shouldn't at all.
No, yeah, I know, and sometimes it just happens, and you haven't... I mean, when we're talking about going to a place to cry, I would never go sort of, I'm going to have a cry.
No. Yeah.
But it's like something takes over you.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's when you really know, oh, something's going on.
Yeah.
I mean,
It can hit you out of nowhere, can't it? No, I'm terrible for it. I hold it in. And it will be a moment that I'm not expecting it. And it won't be over anything that I thought I was going to cry about. It could be something as I've dropped a cup on the floor, and all of a sudden it'll just come, and I think, I'm not even bothered about the cup.
But did you not say on the talkathon that you'd booked...
I'm booking a day of crying.
You're booking a day of crying?
I've told my children, it's in the diary. They're getting locked out. Go wherever you want. I'm going to lock my front door, and I'm just going to cry all day. Might start today again.
Well, I mean, you see the reaction from everyone, and you do think, well, is that a sad thing, or is that actually something that you need?
I need therapy.
It is my own therapy, and I know I need to do it because I've been holding a lot in, and you're right. The thing with me is, my fear is, if I start, I won't stop, because it's not over one thing. It will be everything I've ever held in. So it'll be over my sister being sick, you know, and it'll be over losing Bernie, and then it'll be over things that are happening now, you know, and it all then comes out. Yeah. And my problem is that I get to a point, whenever I do cry, I instantly try and stop myself crying, because I think if I don't stop myself, I'm not going to stop. And then it wears me out. I'm so worn out by the end of it. So I need, if I'm going to do it, I know that I need to be on my own. So I don't feel I have to stop. Because there's people there. And also then that I've got the rest of the day to get over it. Because it literally makes me go, oh, I'm worn out now, you know. So anyway, I'll give you the date. Don't phone me.
Do you kind of repress it? I mean, we're obviously three of us all kind of are a bit repressed. What about you?
My tears do flow. I don't suppress them, I guess. I mean, it'll be certain little triggers. There'll be a memory or a story that will trigger something, and I can't bury it. I feel that feeling in the pit of my stomach, and then I feel it welling up. I feel a lump in my throat, and I'm not able to hold it down. So I do wear my heart on my sleeve, and my friends and family just they're used to that. It's not like they go, it doesn't matter, Penny's crying. They understand that it's something that's hurt, you know, that's either hurt my feelings or I'm troubled by it. But they're used to me showing my emotions, and that's the way it's kind of always been.
I think it's healthy, and it's healthy for your kids as well. You know, to see that it's fine. I mean, you went to boarding school. I guess that's the kind of environment that you have to keep everything like that.
Yeah, it's not... Everyone's boarding at school experience is different, but it's definitely, you know, you are... It's very stiff upper lip, and you are trying to be brave. And, yeah, it's not a space where you feel, you know, that you can show much weakness. And I think probably that... oh my God, it's, you know, it's not a sob story, but it's like that crying under the duvet thing probably started then, because it's probably all, like, things that upset us. It's a bit of kind of weird life, isn't it? Because when you go to, like, a regular school, you go home at the end of the day, shut your bedroom door, but when you live there, the only time, I guess, you're alone is when...
But if I saw you crying or saw you crying now, I'd be thinking, oh, it's really
something really bad,
really bad. Where now I'd go, it's Penny crying again. That's the danger when you find it easy to cry. People then take it for granted.
They
don't value it as much because they go, oh, she's crying.
But then I'm like a yo-yo. You know, I can like a child.
You can pull yourself
snap
back
out of the tears because I don't hold it all in, so it's not like a huge explosion of energy that will wear me out. So then 1 minute I'm like jolly and happy and you know, in between those tears. So
you think about it, that's probably the way we were born, because that's what babies are, isn't it? You know, 1 minute they're crying, the next minute they're laughing, and they just get on. So probably...
But a happy baby.
You're in your natural state, which is a really good thing.